Hey everybody, how's it going? Steve here with another video on Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. As I mentioned in our review, if we manage to get our hands on another Mario Kart Live kit, I would provide some multiplayer impressions. Fortunately, Nintendo heard me apparently and was kind enough to send over the Luigi kit in addition to the Mario that I already had, and I've spent some time playing multiplayer now, and I have some impressions about how it feels to actually treat this more like a proper Mario Kart game. And there's some good and some bad news. I'm going to go ahead and start with the bad news because I feel like that's what people are going to want to know first. And that is that in certain ways, playing multiplayer in Mario Kart Live underlines the fact that it isn't the same as proper Mario Kart, in the sense that it becomes a little more immersion breaking. The first and most noticeable thing is that when you see another player join you, they are not represented by a 3D model, but instead by their toy. So you just see the toy driving alongside you. So even though the other player sees Luigi or Mario on their own Switch screen, you will only see their physical toy. So you won't know what costume or kart type they have equipped. Oddly enough, the sound of their horn does carry over. So if they customize their horn, you'll hear the custom horn and not just the default. But you won't see any costumes or anything like that. So it's kind of immersion breaking in the sense that you see your toy represented as a gorgeous 3D model, whereas their toy looks just like a toy. And I have to wonder why that is. I imagine it has something to do with the fact that it's pretty hard to account for all the movements a toy or a physical object can make in augmented reality, whereas with Mario or your model, they know it's kind of in a fixed position every time because of the camera feed coming from it. So could it have been done? Possibly, but it looks like they didn't implement it for whatever reason, and I'll be honest, I kind of don't like that. The other negative part is that it does seem that wireless range is somewhat impacted. When I played Mario Kart Live Home Circuit for the review, I played it in docked mode exclusively because that is how I can record footage for you. Or rather, I played it mostly in docked mode, as there is some handheld mode footage available in our review. But by and large, I played it docked as I would most Switch games, because that's how I play most Switch games. However, when I tried to play Mario Kart Live in multiplayer in docked mode, I found that I could no longer cross between rooms without the game disconnecting. That was troublesome. However, and I'm glad I did this, I took the opportunity to play it in handheld mode exclusively. After all, the trailers really only show the game being played in handheld mode. And when I switched from recording in docked mode, which is what the footage you're seeing is from, to playing in handheld mode, I found that my wireless range was back to normal. So something about the way the switches interconnect and two karts being involved, plus the potential wireless interference introduced by the dock being wrapped around the console, limited my wireless range. That being said, there are a few other hang-ups. One thing I noticed is that the karts can actually get hung up on each other pretty easily. If somebody rear-ends you with a different kart, they can actually drive up on top of your kart. And I had this happen way more often than I would like. It happened in just about every multiplayer race I played, because my opponent and I were in close contention. We were both taking corners at approximately the same angle, and when we'd get too close, the karts would bump each other, and there's kind of a twofold risk here. One is that the other kart, because it is physical, can bump you off the course, make you hit a gate, and sometimes that will cause your wheels to lock up and you have to physically move the kart to keep playing. The other is that, like I mentioned, the karts can kind of drive up onto each other and become locked together, and then you have to either reverse the top kart off of one of them or have somebody pull them apart physically. It's not like they get locked and damaged, it's just that it takes you out of the game because somebody has to change something, and while you're doing this, the Koopalings will continue to run the course as though nothing happened, so you run the risk of just losing because you guys are stuck together. That being said, it is still incredibly fun. Multiplayer is pretty great, and it's very easy to set up. You just hit multiplayer, choose to host or join, and because it's all local wireless, there's no codes, there's nothing to enter. It just finds the lobby, and you tell it you want to join, and suddenly that person is in your game. It takes maybe 5 seconds to start up, and I really appreciate how quick it is. And once I kind of settled into a rhythm and played a few matches, I found that I was just really enjoying playing this game like this. It's really actually a fun way to do it. I'll be honest though, I still prefer single player. Mario Kart Live works really well in single player and can be an addictive experience, but there is that fun, almost arcade-like feel of playing against someone that you know and that you can kind of see in the same room with you and trash talk them while you're racing. It's entertaining. I'm not going to lie. It's engaging. Is it worth buying 2 kits for? That's going to depend on how you feel about it. But for me personally, I'm glad I've had this experience. I do like it. I'm going to do it again. I'm probably going to play it tonight. My partner and I might grab a couple beers, set up a Mario Kart course, talk some trash, and throw down. Especially now that I've solved my wireless issue and I've figured out that I can still make courses that traverse multiple rooms in my home without causing frustration, as long as I'm just not trying to record it, which, I mean, I guess recording it is not a requirement unless you're making a video about it like me. So anyway, that wraps up my quick impressions of multiplayer in Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. As always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Mario Kart Live and all other things gaming as well. Ring that notification bell to be the first to know every time a new video goes up, and I'll see you next time.